All right, Reddit, let's do DaVinci Resolve. A quick tutorial on like dynamic zoom and cropping and some of the simple stuff like that. But I'm also going to go over some of the basics. So when I start up with a fresh install of Resolve, which I had to do recently from switching computers, I'm going to go DaVinci Resolve in top left, Preferences, User, Project Save and Load, and check backups. And then I do 6 minutes, but you can do anywhere from 5 to 10. This software is free, and that means it's a bit buggy, not perfect. So you will get crashes, and these backups will just save your ass. And then let's import the last clip from my recent video. This clip has different frame rate and the project settings do change, but sometimes there's inconsistencies, so we're going to check it. Yep, there's an inconsistency for some reason. So you click on the gear in bottom right. So I know you should know your frame rate beforehand. I know that this is 1080p 30. For the video monitoring, for what you're seeing, it's saying interlaced 60 for some reason. Just change it so it's all consistent, so you don't have any inconsistencies with your timeline. So 1080p 30, I'm going to drag the clip into cut, but I wouldn't recommend editing from cut. You'll learn some bad habits from cut, and it's a newer feature that's actually a little bit buggy. I like to drag into cut just so that the timeline is set, and then move to edit. And I need to find that last wave that I got. Is that it? Oh, there it was. Yeah, this is how I scrub. There's also some things about scrubbing, but I won't go over them. Basically, if you have a bad computer, you're gonna have a bad time. But Google stuff like how to improve scrubbing. I got a new computer, so I can scrub pretty accurately. I literally saw it and lost it. There it is. Okay, so I'm gonna cut, click on this here, the razor blade. I'm gonna cut right before I get in the frame, cut on that timeline, right click, cut that out, and just for, I'm gonna zoom out over here just so I can see my timeline better, because I had the full long clip, and drag it to the beginning so we don't have any weird dead space. I'm gonna zoom back in, and then let's choose a cut point from the clip. Let's just do 10 seconds for the hell of it. And let's cut this excess, and to make things even more visible, let's just zoom all the way in. So I hope your DaVinci Resolve isn't too different from mine. You might not have the title stuff below. The main thing is your little area where your data is over here. Your, editing, your preview, and then over here you want to make sure you're clicked into Inspector. I'm not sure if yours will be, mine automatically was, but click over to Inspector, and Transform is going to be the first thing you can use. So right now I have this zoom section right here, and it's linked. Make sure the link is clicked so that the aspect ratio is held. And now I can zoom in, but it's a static crop, and then you can change the position. So like I was more up in the frame, and I can change that. But I like to do something even a little bit cooler than that. That's great for when you just want to crop, but looking at static footage is kind of boring when you're tripod filming. So we're going to go over here, right in this like bottom left of the preview. And there's transform, crop, and I want to go to dynamic zoom. There's a green box and a red box. I don't think you have to, well, you can click on dynamic zoom and look at the options, but I don't actually use the options because it's already set up. So there's a green box and a red box. Green is where it starts and red is where it ends. So for the skim clips, I like to start far out because I'm starting at the edge of the frame almost every time I'm running. And we're going to drag the red box in. So let's get the green box and make it the whole frame. So we're starting whole frame. And then the red box, you can do whatever, but a good rule of thumb, depending on how far out you are, but for me, it's always like about half or whatever, just sort of in between. And then in order to make sure you're like getting that frame that you want, oh, I cut it a little long. Try to scrub to sort of the coolest area. Okay, I am in the barrel here. So let's scoot this over. You see this red line in the middle? We'll show you where the frame is zooming in. So I'm going to have it go towards me on the barrel. And we'll click play for the preview. You can barely see it. Let me cut it so that the example is better. Let's cut like right when it breaks. And then maybe let's zoom more just so it's a little bit more dramatic right now. Okay, going back to dynamic zoom, scrub to the part that I want, and just for this example, let's go all the way in. I want aggressive zoom so you can really see it. Now the zoom is much more obvious, and by the point of the barrel, you're real close. Obviously, the one thing you'll notice is that you are losing clarity as you're zooming in on the pixels. Nothing you can do about that necessarily. You can film in 4K, but tripod filming in 4K and editing a huge 4K file, I don't recommend that to anyone. Unless you just happen to have a crazy computer, but then you wouldn't probably need my advice. So that's dynamic zoom, specifically for skimming the way I like to do it. Again, you could just crop, but that's not that interesting. Might as well make the clip look a little bit better, like it's actually a follow cam, and use that dynamic zoom. You'll see that in my recent videos. I'm using dynamic zoom in almost every single clip just to make it look a bit better, like somebody's actually filming instead of just the same angle and shot over and over again. All right, I forgot your username. But whoever asked for this, let me know if you have any questions and issues with starting Resolve, because it's kind of hard to get started, but then once you get the hang of it, it's pretty easy. And maybe I'll do some more tutorials.